Hi Capricorn, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is your collective finance reading. Now, as this is a collective reading, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find any messages in this for yourself, then please check out your other placements where you're likely to find a message in there. You will find all the other placements in the playlists, so feel free to check those out on my channel whenever you're ready. Okay, let's get straight into it. Spirit, can we get some cards, please, for Capricorn for the current financial situation and how they can help improve it? We get one more card, please, Spirit. Thank you. Oh, you give me two, but that's fine. We'll take it. Okay, so your overall energy then, we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Now, the Knight of Swords is very much suggesting that you might be looking at trying to work out what it is that you want from your finances, but you're not actually making any decisions at the moment. You may not know what it is that you want long term. Very much suggesting that you may be hasty when it comes to spending some money as well. You might be a little bit rash with certain things. But yeah, very much suggesting that you don't really have a long-term plan. That you may do things on impulse for the now. Very much living day by day. Yeah, so in your current energy then, we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is very much suggesting that you need to make sure that when you deal with your finances, you're not doing it anything, under the table. You're making sure that you're being responsible, you're being fair with regards to your finances. You're not taking money from other people without asking. Obviously that's stealing, but what I mean is you're not taking people for granted if you're borrowing money from them. You're not overcharging for certain things that, how do I put it, maybe if you've got a business, you might charge certain people more than you would others because you might not like them. It's making sure that you're doing your business in a fair way, not necessarily penalizing people just because you don't like something about them. Making sure that if you are working self-employed, that you're declaring your income, expenses, etc. Let's get some clarification on this Seven of Swords. It's also very much about being fair where your income is concerned, or with your expectations of others and their incomes. So not necessarily getting jealous if somebody has worked hard, very much being fair and reasonable about things. So the Seven of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Swords. And yeah, very much being fair and not acting underhanded. We've also got a Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is suggesting to me that you need to look for ideas on how to improve your finances. Now, part of the not being underhanded could be potentially you may have, maybe you've got friends or family members that have already got a business and it's like not copying their idea, not taking something that isn't yours and turning it into yours and pretending that it is yours. So it's being fair, giving them the recognition when they deserve it. The same as if they have got a business, for instance, and they offer you a job or, you're doing something with them, making sure that you are being fair and that you're actually working, not just taking them for granted and taking them for a ride. And then we have a Nine of Cups as well. So the Nine of Cups is very much suggesting to me that hard work will pay off for you, but you're not necessarily putting in the hard work at the moment. maybe you were just expecting to just keep coasting. Maybe you are coasting. I'm not saying you are coasting. But again, where I was saying about maybe if you're working for family, you know, it could be that you don't work as hard as all the other employees, but you still expect to get paid the same. Or you tell everybody else they've got to do all the work and you just sit there on your phone or something because you're the boss's child, you know, especially when they're not there. And this is suggesting that you're not necessarily working hard, but you're expecting the payoff. But it could come a little bit of a cropper if you're not careful. But you are looking for alternative ideas on how to improve your finances. Maybe you're looking for other jobs. Now, in your challenge position, you have a Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups here is very much suggesting that you need to make sure that you're giving back. And also that you make sure that you are doing something that's enjoyable for you. So part of your challenge there could be, if you're not putting in the effort over here, you know, making sure that you are putting in that effort and giving back. But also making sure that you're doing something that is enjoyable. So if it's something where you don't necessarily enjoy working for parents, if that's what you're doing, you know, if you don't enjoy the job, this is very much a challenge to say that you need to make sure that you're enjoying what you're doing. Let's get some clarification of this Six of Cups. That's too many cards, Spirit. I thought there was only one or two there then. I want one more, please, Spirit. Give me tons again. Just one more. Thank you. Okay. So the Eight of Swords here very much telling me that you need to be working hard. This is very much suggesting that money is going to be a little bit tight. You might need to look at where you need to free up your savings or free up that money somehow. We have a Seven of Pentacles saying don't rush into any decisions. Make sure you're taking your time, you're considering your options. And then we have a Queen of Pentacles as well. And the Queen of Pentacles is telling me that money is a bit of an issue at the moment. When you are working hard and you're doing what you need to, it won't be an issue. So the challenge is making sure that it's not an issue. Yeah, very much suggesting that you need to, once you've examined where your funds can be freed up, and you're not rushing into any decisions and jumping into things hastily, that money won't be an issue, you know, but you need to make sure that you're on top of it. And you need to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, you enjoy. Now, what help is available to you? We have the Two of Swords in the reverse. This is very much suggesting to me that if you are looking at investing into something, whether this is a new job, whether you're looking at buying some high value item, saving, investing into, you know, property, stock, shares, whatever it is, it's telling me that you really need to have a good think about it. You need to have a good think and a good analyse and very much find out as much information on it as you can. And don't jump into it. Don't be too hasty. Make sure you've got the information behind it to back you up. We get two more to clarify. Okay, yeah, three. Okay, so we've got a High Priestess, a Ten of Wands, a Seven of Cups and a World. The High Priestess and the Ten of Wands both came out in the reverse. That High Priestess is telling me that you need to make sure that you're spending wisely, and you need to make sure that you're giving back. And here, part of your challenge was to be giving back. Now, this could be giving to charity. It could just be giving your time, your energy out to a charitable cause. It doesn't obviously have to be a mainstream charity. It could be any charitable act. But it's very much making sure that you are giving your time and energy out, or time or energy, I should say. It doesn't have to be both. It could be one or the other. The 10 of Wands is telling me that you might feel like money is a bit of a burden. And you need to make sure that you are examining where your money is going. Okay, so yes, it might feel like a burden, but when you learn about money properly, the burden will lift when you've made sure that you're doing what you enjoy and you've examined and you've freed things up. You know, it won't be such a burden anymore. The World card here is very much suggesting to me that if you work hard, you'll get the money that you want, but you need to make sure that you're working hard and you're enjoying what it is that you're doing. And then we have a 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups is very much suggesting that you need to use your intuition. Now, it could be that your intuition is a little bit blocked at the moment. Maybe you don't have enough knowledge or enough experience to have great intuition with regards to your finances. In the reverse, this would very much suggest to me that you need to be making sure that you're using your head, thinking things through, don't act impulsively. In the upright, it's very much using your intuition and getting it spot on. So it coming out to the side is suggesting that your intuition isn't quite there at the minute. You might have to research things if your intuition isn't really giving you much information. You might have to look things up a bit more. You might need to be gaining the experience and the knowledge behind it. Now, looking at it, this is going to come in with this World card very much when it is that you start being productive, when you're working hard, when you're starting to save, when you're starting to earn, you'll gain a bigger understanding, a bigger knowledge base for your intuition to then start developing. Because at the end of the day, your intuition is based on your experiences. It's things that you've experienced, things that you've learnt, and it's your inner compass saying, hang on a minute, we've learnt from this before, you know. And it's very much listening to that inner guidance, but it comes with life experience. So it's suggesting that certain things you may not have full experience of yet. So you might have to do a little bit of learning to get your intuition in the best place. Now, obviously, not all intuition comes from experiences you've learned. It could come from experiences of, you know, friends, family members, people around you that you've seen go through something to do with it. You know, so it's picking up those experiences from everywhere, being exposed to them, and then learning from them, regardless of whether it's your direct experience or someone else's. Now, if you manage to take this advice and you do some serious considering on what it is that you want, we have the Empress in the upright and we have the Hierophant in the reverse as your outcome. So this Empress is very much suggesting to me that you need to make sure that you're setting your goals and have your objective as, you know, set your long-term goals. By all means, have your objectives as well. This is suggesting to me that you need to make sure that you are looking at your resources. You may not have to manage them as closely as you were before, but it is still suggesting that you do need to look at them, and keep an eye on them, making sure that you're putting the right amount of effort into utilising it in the best places. Let's get some clarification on the two of those. Okay, so we had the Six of Pentacles come out to the first to the side. The Six of Pentacles is very much suggesting that, again, it's suggesting that you may need to be looking at where you give your charity out to, whether that's time, energy, money. Very much examining how you're giving that out and continuing to give it out to better the community. And like I say, it can be any kind of charitable act. It doesn't have to be directly giving money to anyone. It could just be helping, you know, friends, family members, people you're close to. It could be anything. It could be helping them budget. It could be giving them a meal every now and then when, if you know that they're going through something, you know, a bit of hardship, getting them to come round if you know they can't afford the gas or the electric. I mean, it's the winter. There's going to be a lot of people out there like that. It could even be simply spending time with an elderly person. You know, most communities now have, it's like an outreach where you can go, you sign up and you can be like a little buddy to an elderly person, and you just go and spend an hour a week visiting an elderly person so they don't feel so lonely. You know, it could be something like that. You don't have to do anything other than sit and chat with some elderly person that's giving you some life experience. Obviously, you know, there's lots of different programs out there that don't involve money. Now, there's also a Four of Pentacles in the reverse, which is suggesting to me that you need to remember what's important in life. Stop fearing any kind of financial losses. It's not going to make you lonely. So you do need to make sure that you are being very wary of that and stop dwelling on any financial losses that you may have incurred previously. If you've had people in the past that have, you know, disappeared because you've lost out on some finances, then I'm not being horrible. Then they were clearly only around you for your money and they weren't worth being around you to start with. And you're better off without them, to be completely honest. We do have an Eight of Cups as well. Now, this is suggesting to me that if you do have any spare money, that you look at putting it in a interest account, just a normal savings account with as much high interest as you possibly can. It's not suggesting that you put it in anything like an ISA, but just a general savings account. Now, obviously, each to their own. You could find something else to invest that into. If you have got any, it could. But it's just suggesting that instead of keeping it in a current account where it gives you no money, you know, putting it into an interest in it, into an account, a savings account, even if it's got pathetic interest on. Let's face it, that's most savings accounts nowadays. You know, you're still going to be earning money, even if it's tiny amounts. So it's still going to be giving you money back rather than sitting in just a current account giving you nothing. And then we have a Temperance as well. So the Temperance card here is very much suggesting that you need to look at the needs and goals of others in order to transform your work. So potentially when you're looking at what your goals and what your aims are, you're going to be looking at people that have already got where you want to be and how did they get there, and looking at what their goals were, what their needs were, and then comparing them to yours and potentially transforming your ideas that way, setting your goals and your intentions by doing that. Now, it could be that certain things you might need to do. So where I was talking about doing charitable acts, sometimes that will give you certain skills depending on what kind of charitable act it is you're doing. Sometimes it can help you gain valuable skills. So if you're looking to move into a particular area, you know, it could be that you volunteer to give yourself a bit of experience in that area so it's easier to get into for a job, because that will be relevant for some of you. Right, let's get you a Angel of Abundance card, see what other messages Spirit has got for you. Successful funding. So your idea is divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom of God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it into reality. Crowdfunding, partnerships, and other investments are available to help you. Okay. All right, I hope you enjoyed your reading today, Capricorn. If you did, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me and you haven't subscribed, if you press that subscription button and press the notification bell, it will let you know whenever I do post new content. Good luck with improving your finances, and thank you very much for joining me.